In 2023, a deep-sea submersible captured something that shouldn't exist. A shadow moving through the abyssal depths, 60 feet long, impossibly massive, defying everything we thought we knew about extinction. The footage lasted 17 seconds before the camera went dark. The crew has never spoken publicly about what they witnessed that day. Welcome to the deepest mystery in our oceans. 3.5 million years ago, the ocean's most perfect killing machine vanished from Earth's waters. Carcasses Megalodon, the mega-toothed shark, a predator so massive it could swallow a great white hole. Science tells us it's extinct. Logic demands it. But the ocean keeps its secrets. And lately, those secrets have been surfacing. Dr. Sarah Chun thought she was documenting whale migration patterns off the coast of Chile when her sonar detected something impossible. A biological signature moving at depths where no large marine life should exist. 58 feet in length. Moving with purpose. With intelligence. The readings were unlike anything in our databases, she would later tell colleagues in hushed conversations. It wasn't behaving like any known species. It was methodical, calculated. It was hunting. But Dr. Chun's encounter wasn't isolated. It was part of a pattern emerging from the deepest trenches of our planet. Pattern that suggests perhaps the ocean's greatest predator never truly left us at all. The Mariana Trench, the Puerto Rico Trench, the Peru-Chile Trench. All locations where the impossible has been glimpsed. Where shadows move in eternal darkness and where our understanding of extinction begins to crumble like ancient bone. Consider this. We've explored less than 5% of our oceans. The remaining 95% remains as alien to us as the surface of Mars. In those unmapped depths, in trenches so deep they could swallow Mount Everest whole, anything could survive, anything could evolve, anything could be waiting. The evidence begins with teeth. Megalodons possess the most powerful bite force ever recorded, 40,000 pounds per square inch. Their teeth, triangular monuments to destruction, continue washing ashore on beaches worldwide. But here's what marine biologists don't advertise. Some of these teeth show no signs of fossilization. They're fresh, recent, impossible. A tooth found in 1875 off Hawaii was dated using the most advanced techniques available. The results were classified immediately. Only fragments of the report survived, mentioning anomalous carbon signatures and temporal inconsistencies that challenge accepted extinction timelines. In 2018, a commercial fishing vessel off the Azores hauled in nets containing megalodon teeth that weren't fossilized. These were fresh, showing signs of recent loss. The crew was debriefed by authorities within 48 hours. Their catches were confiscated. The official report listed their findings as miscategorized prehistoric specimens. But one crew member, speaking anonymously, painted a different picture. Those teeth weren't ancient. They were sharp enough to cut through steel cable. And they were warm. The Tasman Sea, 1997. The Australian National Maritime Museum received footage from a deep-sea mining operation that would change everything, or would have, if anyone had been brave enough to acknowledge what it showed. The footage revealed a feeding site at 3,000 feet. Whale carcasses arranged in patterns too deliberate for nature, too massive for any known predator. The bite marks measured over 7 feet across. No living creature on Earth possesses jaws of that magnitude, except one that's supposed to be extinct. Marine biologist Dr. Emma Rodriguez spent 15 years analyzing the footage before her research was mysteriously defunded. Her final report, leaked years later, contained a chilling conclusion. The predation patterns suggest an intelligence level unprecedented in cartilaginous fish. The creature responsible appears to be learning, adapting, evolving. But physical evidence pales beside the whispers from deep-sea fishermen. Stories passed down through generations, spoken only in port bars when the lights are dim and the ocean's roar drowns out doubt. Captain Miguel Santos has worked the deep waters off Portugal for 40 years. His grandfather worked these same waters. His great-grandfather before him. They all spoke of the same thing: shadows beneath their boats that dwarfed blue whales. Creatures that could snap their vessels in half, but chose not to. Predators that observed them with ancient intelligence. My grandfather called it O Gigante Adormecido, the sleeping giant. Captain Santos whispers, his weathered hands trembling. He said it was waiting, watching, learning when to return to the shallows. The ocean's thermal layers provide perfect cover. Below 3,000 feet, temperatures drop to near freezing. Bioluminescence becomes the only light. Pressure reaches levels that would crush human bones to powder. It's an environment so hostile, so removed from our world, that entire ecosystems could thrive undetected. And in those depths, gigantism rules. Colossal squid grow to lengths exceeding 40 feet. Giant isopods reach sizes that would have seemed impossible at surface levels. If smaller creatures can achieve such massive proportions in the deep, what might happen to an apex predator given millions of years to adapt? Evolution in isolation creates monsters. The deep ocean trenches represent Earth's most stable environments. While surface conditions fluctuate wildly, the deep maintains consistent conditions across geological time scales. A creature adapted to deep-sea survival 3 million years ago would find essentially identical conditions today, but they wouldn't remain unchanged themselves. Modern megalodons might bear little resemblance to their fossilized ancestors. Bioluminescent capabilities could have evolved to rival giant squid. Pressure resistance could allow survival at depths that would kill any surface creature instantly. Their intelligence could have developed to levels that would challenge our assumptions about marine consciousness. They've had 3.5 million years to perfect deep-sea survival. 3.5 million years to develop hunting strategies we cannot imagine. 3.5 million years to watch our species emerge from caves and eventually venture onto their territory. Most disturbing of all, they've had 3.5 million years to study us. The Bermuda Triangle. A name that conjures images of vanished ships and mysterious disappearances. But what if the mystery isn't supernatural? What if it's biological? In 2019, the research vessel Neptune's Crown was investigating magnetic anomalies in the deepest waters of the Triangle when their hull-mounted cameras detected movement. The footage shows something vast moving beneath them, a shadow so large it blocked their lights for over 3 minutes. Dr. James Fletcher, the expedition's lead researcher, submitted his findings to 12 different marine biology journals. All 12 rejected publication without explanation. His funding was terminated. His research lab was closed. His career effectively ended. The footage disappeared from official records, but copies surfaced on encrypted channels where marine researchers share information too dangerous for mainstream science. Frame-by-frame analysis reveals details that challenge everything we know about megalodon extinction. The creature in the footage displays hunting behaviors never documented in sharks. It appears to be herding prey using sophisticated tactics. Its movement patterns suggest problem-solving abilities that approach mammalian intelligence levels. Most disturbing of all, it seems aware of the cameras recording it and appears to be performing for them. But perhaps the most compelling evidence comes from whale behavior patterns. Great whales possess the longest migration routes on Earth, traveling thousands of miles between feeding and breeding grounds. These routes, established over millions of years, represent the accumulated wisdom of countless generations. Recently, these ancient migration patterns have begun to change. Humpback whales are avoiding deep water channels they've used for millennia. Blue whales are traveling in larger pods, exhibiting defensive behaviors not seen since the age of industrial whaling. Sperm whales, the ocean's deep-diving champions, are refusing to descend below 2,000 feet in certain regions. The areas they're avoiding correspond exactly with reported megalodon sightings. Marine behaviorist Dr. Lisa Yamamoto spent 3 years documenting these changes. Her conclusion: the whales are responding to a predator presence. Something in the deep that instills fear in creatures that have no natural enemies. Something that remembers them from an earlier age. Sonar operations across the Pacific have detected massive bioacoustic signatures, calls unlike anything in marine biology databases. The sounds originate from depths exceeding 5,000 feet and travel for hundreds of miles through ocean channels. Computer analysis suggests the calls are communications between multiple large predators. The frequency patterns match theoretical models of Megalodon vocalizations. But these modern calls demonstrate complexity levels that suggest evolutionary advancement far beyond their prehistoric ancestors. We're not just hearing individual megalodons, we're hearing conversations between apex predators that have developed language capabilities. What if megalodon extinction was never extinction at all, but adaptation? The evidence suggests a different narrative. As ocean temperatures shifted and prey patterns changed, the great sharks didn't die. They descended into the thermal layers, into the crushing depths, into the eternal darkness where human eyes cannot follow. There, in Earth's most alien environment, they evolved. Modern megalodons might be unrecognizable from their ancestors. Larger, more intelligent, perfectly adapted to deep-sea hunting. Their bioluminescent capabilities could rival giant squid. Their pressure resistance could allow survival at depths that would kill any surface creature. They've had 3.5 million years to perfect deep-sea survival. 3.5 million years to develop hunting strategies we cannot imagine. 3.5 million years to watch our species emerge and eventually venture onto their territory. We're not discovering megalodons in the deep. They're allowing themselves to be discovered. Consider the mounting evidence through this lens. The strategic placement of whale carcasses. The deliberate avoidance of human vessels. The timing of sightings to coincide with advanced recording equipment. These aren't random encounters with a primitive predator. These are first contact protocols with an intelligence that has been observing us far longer than we've been searching for them. The deep-sea footage, the sonar recordings, the behavioral changes in whale populations. They're not evidence of survival. They're evidence of emergence. Dr. Chun's Chilean encounter wasn't a chance sighting. It was an announcement. A message from the deep that the age of hiding is ending. Climate change is forcing deep-sea creatures toward the surface. Ocean warming is collapsing the thermal barriers that have kept two worlds separate for millions of years. The megalodons aren't just alive. They're returning. But this presents a terrifying question. If these apex predators have spent millions of years developing intelligence levels that inspire fear in blue whales, creatures that outweigh them significantly, then we may be dealing with predators that have transcended physical dominance and entered the realm of psychological warfare. The coordination extends beyond simple communication. Whale carcasses appearing in deep-sea locations show feeding, patterns suggesting multiple megalodons working in tactical formations. The precision indicates planning abilities that would be remarkable in social mammals. But megalodons, according to everything we know, are solitary hunters, unless they've evolved beyond our understanding of what it means to be a shark. But this is only the beginning of the story, emerging from our planet's deepest waters. The evidence for megalodon survival pales beside what we're discovering about other creatures that were never supposed to exist. Because if megalodons can survive extinction, evolve, and thrive in the deep ocean trenches, what else might be down there? What other legendary predators might have simply descended? The fossil records tell us about marine predators that vanished during extinction events. Creatures even larger than megalodons, more aggressive, more perfectly designed for destruction. What if the Liviaden melville, the sperm whale predator with teeth the size of wine, bottles didn't go extinct, but learned to hunt in the deepest trenches? What if legends about sea serpents weren't mythology, but cultural memories of encounters with creatures that learned to survive by descending beyond our reach. Next time, we'll explore evidence for deep-sea creatures that make surviving megalodons look like tropical fish. We'll investigate sonar contacts that dwarf blue whales, examine bite marks that suggest predators with jaws the size of subway cars, and reveal footage that has been classified by maritime authorities worldwide. The ancient maps called unexplored regions here be dragons. Perhaps they were more accurate than we ever imagined. Until then, remember, every time you look out at the ocean's endless horizon, something far below might be looking back. Something ancient. Something massive. Something that has been waiting millions of years for the perfect moment to remind humanity that we are not alone on this planet. That moment may be closer than we think. The abyss gazes also into you,